Tariff war keeps on rolling.
It's not great news, but we need to keep this in perspective. The last time Australia exported anything of substance to the USA, it was merchandise from koala blue. We're one of the few countries that runs a trade deficit with America. We import more than we export to, so tariffs don't really hurt us too much.
Well, not directly.
And there's the rub. The problem for Australia is Trump's tariffs don't hurt us, they hurt our biggest export market.
China!
What do the latest Trump tariffs mean for us?
If the tariffs mean Americans stop buying as many life-essential products like glow-in-the-dark toilet seats and mini humidifiers from quality Chinese purveyors such as Temu and Shein, then Beijing won't need to build as many factories.
Yeah, you're all fired.
Said factories are made out of steel, and said steel is made from iron ore. As we know, iron ore is what keeps us down here comfortably fat, dumb and happy.
Hey, do you have to call me fat?
That's why BHP iron ore boss Tim Day is sweating about uncertainty in international markets. It's hard to make a considered investment decision about, say, a new copper mine when Washington can, at a moment's notice, whack a 50% tariff on that commodity.
Okay, so does it affect us directly sometimes?
Ish. Australia exports bugger all copper. BHP mines it at South Australia's Olympic Dam, but most of the big Australian output comes from Chile and Peru. Rio's copper comes exclusively from Mongolia and Chile. Trump wants to kickstart America's own copper industry, and he reckons that by making imports more expensive, locally produced materials, specifically the Resolution copper mine, which is the biggest deposit in North America and ironically jointly owned by Rio and BHP, will come into production eventually.
Sounds to me like Trump is thinking strategically for a change.
It sounds strategic.
Trust me, I'm like a smart person.
Make BHP and Rio's Chilean copper more expensive so it gives BHP and Rio's American copper a competitive advantage. Problem is price relativity isn't the reason the Resolution copper deposit remains in the ground. BHP and Rio have ploughed something like $5 billion into the project and still haven't extracted one single pound of the stuff because of green tape and one almighty native title fight. Tariffs aren't going to fix that mess. In fact, they'll mean Rio and BHP have less money to fix the mess. So no upside there for the Donald. Plus, by taxing the red metal, and that's what a tariff is, remember, a tax paid by importers, by taxing it harder than everything copper goes into, and that's everything that has any electronic component, which in 2025 is pretty much everything, gets more expensive.
So Big Pharma has a bit more to lose.
200% tariffs. Bad. But again, let's keep this in perspective. Australia sells about $2 billion worth of pharmaceutical products to the US each year, accounts for less than 10% of total exports to America. 90% of those pharmaceutical exports are blood products. And most of those blood products come from just one company, CSL. CSL has operations all around the world, but just one laboratory in Australia, in Broadmeadows in Victoria. It does a lot of its production in America because that's where all the blood is, because Americans can donate blood for money.
And now I can buy back all the blood I sold.
If CSL's non-American products are hit by the new tariff, it's bad for Australia, not because the company employs thousands and thousands of people like BHP or Rio. It doesn't. It's bad because CSL's earnings will take a hit, and CSL is one of the biggest companies on the ASX, and just about every superannuation fund in Australia holds the stock.
Insufficient funds.
I'm Ben Harvey.